Welcome back to Painters Guild. We are here once again. If you were with us last week, you know that we were working on fine detailing with Brian Merlongi. Today, we're going to be doing a little more back to basic stuff, which I'm excited about, really go back to where it began. And we're going to be doing something very interesting today. We are going to be doing a mystery mini. Yes, a mystery box. So join us to see what's inside here, because even I don't know, and it's kind of scaring the hell out of me. So it is time to meet our guest teacher for the day. She is one of Brian Merlongi's Padawan students, so it should be exciting to see what happens here. Please welcome Candace Dovie. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, a little nervous.
Are you really?
Yes.
This is so mellow and so cakey. You're nervous, put a paintbrush in my hand and something where I have to go like this all day long. So these are all yours, right?
Yes, they are.
Can you walk me through a couple of these? Let's start with this guy, because
Yeah, perfect. Because these two are actually the first miniatures that I've ever painted. And
these were your first miniatures?
Yes.
And
they're
that makes me
super
feel bad
old.
about myself.
That's
Thank
why they're
you.
chipping.
That's awesome. And did you do the bases too?
Yeah, I did. Wow. That was fun.
So now what kind of character is this?
I was playing a elf ranger in Pathfinder, and
Of
I
course.
wanted something to look like
Like an elf ranger?
an elf
Nice.
ranger, so I just found it.
And this, now did you paint this, did you have any actual training by the time you did this one, or did you just do this by yourself?
I watched a lot of YouTube videos.
So you watch YouTube videos and you did that your first time?
Yes.
Yes, I feel good about myself now. Thank you for that, Candace. I appreciate it. And then how about this this guy here?
So she had in the game, she had an animal companion.
Of course.
So this was her companion. And I just looked at a picture of a cheetah and tried to copy it.
You looked at a picture of a cheetah and you painted this. And that's the end of season 2 of Painters Guild. Thanks for joining. Really? That's horrifyingly awesome for you and terrible for me. Oh, it's gonna be a fun day. Is there a progression to any of these for like your skill set, like where you started as to where you ended up?
Yeah, like all these little ones are my beginning ones. Like these are the second and third ones I ever painted.
Oh, come on. This was the second one you did?
Yes.
It's horrifying. Okay. Because remember, we start here nice and fun talking, but then we have to end up painting. And mine aren't going to look like this ever.
No, they will. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
I feel like
Spoken like a true teacher. Horrible. Horrible. Talk me very briefly through what brought you to mini painting. Other than, was it just playing tabletop?
Yeah, I was just playing games that had miniatures in them, and they were not painted, and I was like, this is so boring, I don't want to play with this.
Really? That's cool. I looked at it differently. When I got my first miniature, I was like, look, it's done, and I'm playing the silver guy.
You're like, that's
like
fine.
it was just easy. Apparently, my character's pewter. Yeah, like that's what I was kind of talking through. Now, this guy here, I was looking at before.
These two are like since I met Brian and started teaching
I can
me.
tell by the famous cap, the Brian Merlongi cap.
Yeah, that's the Brian Merlongi.
It is. It's the Brian Merlongi cap and earthquake putty that holds your mini together.
He taught
Yes,
me how
I'm
to do it more
very familiar. I had nightmares
professional.
about being taped to this myself at one point last season. So you are actually here on a very special and also horrifying type of episode for me.
Okay.
Because for the first time in the history of the show, we don't know what we're painting. Privateer Press has sent us a mini crate. So we don't actually know what's in here. They do this once a month, and they make as many as they get orders for, and then they break the mold. So
That's so cool.
it's really cool. It's very scary because we don't know what's in here. We don't know what's facing us. So hopefully you will be able to guide me with your Jedi powers to first get the box open and then figure out what's inside and how we go from there. So you ready?
So, yes.
Okay, good. All right, well then let's smock up and get going. All right, so here we go. We get to open our surprise mini pack. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
All right, let's see what we got here. Come on. Oh, wow. Very cool.
Nice.
We've got a swamp siren. This looks like it's going to be horribly difficult. Sweet.
I love this so much.
Do you really?
Yeah,
So are you
this
gonna?
is right up my alley.
This is right up your alley. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So then you're gonna be able to walk me through this because I think the toughest part for me is gonna be this part right here.
I was like, where are you pointing? Oh, the whole thing.
I'm entire.
Cool.
Yeah. Pointing to this. So let's check out the actual mini itself here. First of all, these boxes are really cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the figure itself. Oh, here we go. Oh, it's like the Venus de Milo, and then there's a metal arm. Be careful when you open your boxes because sometimes there are very minute, tiny little pieces, and you want to make sure that they don't go flying and sucked up in the vacuum, because then you don't get the full mini. And I'm just gonna creepily wave to you with it. Hi. So here we go. I think we can put our boxes away now.
Yeah.
I am gonna keep my little card out though.
Definitely keep that.
I'm gonna start collecting them like baseball cards. Like, dude, I'll trade you a swamp siren. All right, so now, first thing we have to do is prime, correct?
Yes.
Now, one of the things we learned last year was that you can prime in a multitude of colors. The different priming will give you kind of different highlights. I think this is actually a perfect time to go to one of our pro tips. So we're gonna go to our brush for hire, Mr. Brian Merlongi, who's gonna kind of show us what's up. Cool with that?
Yeah.
All right, let's go to him.
Well, let's get basic. What kind of primer do we choose? White? Black? What about both? White primer is used for vibrant colors and bright miniatures. Black is used for getting more contrast out of your paint jobs. But what most pros use is actually a special technique called zenithal priming. The entire figure is primed black, even the undercuts. Then, from directly above the figure, spray down a light dusting of white primer as if the light is hitting it from above. And the black stays in the shadowed areas, just like in real life. Now you've got a head start on your shading. Back to you, Will.
Thank you for the tip, Brian. You've never been more entertaining, and that in itself is sad. So here we go. We are starting. We've got our wonderful caps ready.
Yes.
And so we are going to take our swamp siren and make it easier to actually paint by putting it on here. This is, once again, our swamp siren here. I just call her Sheila. I think her name is Sheila Kozlowski, and she is a misunderstood ex-kindergarten teacher from an area outside of Cleveland, Ohio.
It's good to have
That's,
a backstory.
again, you got to have a backstory for everybody before you start painting,
Bring
and
it
that's where I
alive.
started. Exactly. So as you can tell, we have it primed black, and it kind of will help with the
and she's
sinister
dark.
look, right?
I mean, if you look at the picture, there's a lot of black in here, so.
Black in her dress, but not in her soul. That's how I like to look at it. Okay, so I guess then the next question that you helped us kind of answer is picking colors. So how did we end up picking these colors to do this mini?
You can obviously paint a miniature whatever you want, use your imagination, but to make it easier, you can follow the reference photo that they give you. You see that we have purple and pink and her flesh tone.
It's kind of a gray flesh tone, which is kind of neat. Yeah, Sheila needs sun. That's what it looks like. So what did you pick? What do we got?
So we got for the flesh tone, Formula P3 Sickly Skin.
Love
Perfect name for
I love
her.
The name, Sickly Skin.
And then we have Beaten Purple for the tentacles.
Beaten Purple is the name of it. Love that.
Carnal Pink.
Not touching that. We got
What do you have?
the Mara White.
Oh yeah, you have to have white.
Crazy.
Murderous Magenta. That's a
very
great
alliterative,
one.
isn't it?
Yeah.
So, okay, what do we do? How do we start? What do we pick?
Okay, so pick out the brush that you're gonna use. You wanna do like a little bit thicker brush for base.
Okay, so this one right here.
Yeah, wet your brush, cause.
Are we wetting the brush first?
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't want it to be too stiff.
So excited. Putting the paint on the mini, the paint on the mini.
So I like to start with like the bigger areas. They're all kind of big areas here, but but maybe the tentacles first.
Okay.
I'm just
So
gonna.
her skirt, essentially?
Yeah, her skirt.
You're using the beaten purple?
The beaten purple, yeah.
All right.
Shake your paint.
Very important.
Very important. Mix it up. All right, I think that's good. And then you can just put some of your paint into your palette. You can use the back of your brush.
You don't want to just pour? Is that a bad thing?
I wouldn't, because then you get way too much paint. You don't want to waste it.
Okay.
And you can always just add more.
Even this process is just so delicate and dainty.
It is.
But now I have paint on the back of my brush.
So you can just rinse it off in your cup, and then you don't
Oh,
want the paint
cool.
to dry
Look
out.
at that. It's like a grimace drink.
Yeah, you've already painted your water.
Well, it's the best thing I'm going to paint all day. Is that cup.
So just grab some paint on your brush. You can wipe it off on the side of the palette a little bit, so
Okay.
you don't get too much.
Wow, see, you went like, you have like a little meh. I've got like, let's start
It's
over
okay.
again. Well,
No,
it's
no,
apparently
that's-
not okay.
No, it's totally fine.
Jeez. And now you just
Okay.
went a little like Vajoinkin. By the way, you will, if you watch season 1, which I'm sure you did, certain names will continue to pop up. So this will always be called a Vajoinkin of paint. So
I actually
we
didn't
make
get
sure.
enough paint on mine, so
See?
maybe
You had to get a
your technique
vegetable.
was better.
All right, so where are you going? So
I'm just starting on the
And you're-
tentacles, and remember you can use your reference if you forgot like where it goes.
right. Now, I have a question for you. Every time you dip the paint, do you also get a little water?
You can, like mine's not spreading as easily, so I was about to.
What's the longest you've ever worked on one single mini?
It usually takes me a couple hours because I'm slow.
Is there one specific one you want to paint? Like you have the ideal of, I can't wait to do this or that?
Just anything that looks dark and creepy.
So you really do like the dark and
I
creepy?
really do. What are your favorite things to paint?
Whatever I'm being taught at the time is pretty much what it comes down to. I'm just trying to learn, and man, do I have a lot to learn. So was it really just looking at that mini you got while you were playing that made you want to start painting?
I wanted it to look like it was in the picture. Because you get the game and they're all pictured in the illustrations and you're like, this is so cool. And you open it's like plain.
Yeah.
And I was a little taken aback by that. So she looks like Ursula.
She does look a little like Ursula, a little thinner. Ursula.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, Ursula after an elliptical session or two, but. Does painting relax you or does it freak you out?
It's actually pretty relaxing except for when my hand's shaking.
It can be very zen though, just kind of.
Yeah, it really teaches patience, which I don't have, so.
You're not a patient person?
No, not at all, so
it seems like
I get
patience
frustrated.
is kind of paramount because you gotta wait for every step to dry and you gotta,
and that's where I have to learn how to be patient and wait for things to dry or like not put too much paint because I just want to hurry up and finish it. It's just bad habits that you
How do you
try to correct
unlearn
them.
bad habits?
I'm still trying to figure that part out.
Okay,
It's a lot
enough.
of self-control. I'm
Fair
like,
enough.
okay. I'm trying to, you need a good foundation for whatever you do.
In life, as
Exactly.
in minis.
There's a lot of life lessons in painting.
There are. Were you a nerd growing up?
Yes.
Like what kind of nerd? Comic books?
Yeah, I like
or-
comic books, video games.
What was your favorite comic book?
I'm a Batman fan.
Yeah.
Batman animated series.
Batman the Animated Series
That was
the greatest, in my opinion, animated series of all time.
Mm-hmm,
And it changed the whole ball game for Batman. And Kevin Conroy is Batman and will ever, for always be Batman. He's the man. Who was your favorite villain?
I mean, obviously Joker, Harley Quinn.
Sure.
Even though it's so basic now.
Paul Dini invented Harley Quinn.
Oh my God, I went to Comic-Con, this last one, and I shook his hand and I cried.
You cried
And
when you really?
And I thanked him for creating Mad Love, and he held my hand, and we had a
He's a
moment.
sweet
We had
guy, isn't he?
An epic moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He did Batman Beyond with me.
Okay, so I keep having to add more water for mine. while
I've
you're
been
doing
having to
over
add
there.
some. I think I'm doing okay-ish, Lee.
Okay.
I like to add.
Yours
just,
looks great.
Thank you. You think? Is that good?
Yeah, it is. I feel like yours is actually a little bit better than mine. I want to say there's no right way to do things. I mean, I guess there kind of is, but.
There's got to be a right way to do. Well, let's put it this way: there might not be a
There's
right
a
way to do
better
things,
way
but
to
there's
do
certainly
things.
wrong ways to do
Yeah.
it. As hopefully now we are cutting back to my original mini. That was the wrong way to do it. There you go. How do I delineate kind of where to paint purple and where not to paint purple? Because the part I'm working on right now, it's like two tentacles right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to leave kind of the black line in between, or is it okay to just kind of paint both of these until they separate? Like
That you're gonna hit when you do your wash,
Okay.
and then when that falls in, you're gonna get like the shading, the contrast from that. But
Gotcha.
that's
That's
later.
one of the things.
You're jumping ahead.
I know, yeah, but that's one of the things I find I have trouble with some
Yeah.
of the minis is because
That's why I really like the reference photos, because then you can kind of see on the photo like what's painted and what's not, and then
Right.
it could help you.
I keep forgetting why they're called minis until you paint them, and then you go, oh, that's right, it's real small. You're right about the patience; it's necessary.
If you can see how like using the black primer for this,
Yeah,
it creates more contrast for like your darker colors.
I guess that's not really even a cheat because they've kind of already set it up for you, right? So
exactly, and you primed it, so it's like
yeah, that's true.
you did it. It's not like you're
That's
cheating.
true.
So if your paint ever gets dry, because I know this is like taking a while and sometimes it'll get dry, you can just add like a drop of water or something to it.
To the palette paint?
Yeah, so I don't
Or
know.
to
To the
okay.
palette paint, so I don't know if like yours is drying up or not.
You know what's not
Actually, I'd
drying
add-
up though?
What?
The conversation. It's been wonderful all the way around. Now, how important when you're doing your first color is getting every little nook and cranny? Does it matter, or are you going to be coming back and hitting it with other colors, hitting it with washes, hitting it with stuff like that?
Yeah, nothing has to be perfect. It's like the flaws that make your miniature interesting. You can always like go
If
back.
flaws make it interesting,
Yeah.
I have some of the most interesting minis in history. Let me tell you.
Yeah, so if you miss something, you can always go back and fix it later, which is why I kind of wanted to do the tentacles first. So the in-between parts we can go over, and if I Like, I've spilled over onto the in-betweens.
You have?
Yeah.
Rookie? I'm
I
kidding.
know.
Yeah, I have too in almost every place. So I think, oh, wait, I found a new one. There's one more tentacle. Did I miss a tentacle? I missed a tentacle. Hang on. I wonder if this is different than when the pioneers first started painting minis. You know, coming across the Cumberland Gap. Just painting minis.
I'm sure not much has changed.
That's what I think too. How are you holding your brush? Do you have a specific kind of brush technique?
Yeah, I feel like it has more control if the lower I hold it. That's how I hold my pencils too, really low.
I've been told I hold mine very similar to some painter named Michelangelo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm kidding. I have no idea how he held his brushes.
Okay, this is the part of the show where I judge your work.
Sweet.
Can I see what you're doing?
Just 1 second, one little thing. All right, then I ask only that you be gentle.
Okay. Yeah, it looks good.
Except for?
Except for you miss a spot.
Yeah. Which spot did I miss?
Right here, in between.
Oh yeah, that's a little tentacle,
Yeah,
that one right there?
It connects, the bottom part. And then so something that I'm finding with mine, that black, you might need more than one layer. That's why I'm going over it. It's because
Oh, you can the black kind of comes through the
yeah,
purple
it kind of
sometimes.
pokes through, especially with lighter colors. So you want to go over and try to cover that black. So I'm coming up to the end of the tentacle part.
I think I am too. I just want to grimace my water a little bit again.
To move on.
And I've just been told in a horrible way that grimace doesn't exist anymore.
No.
They got rid of grimace. They got rid of the Hamburglar.
Yeah.
Mayor McCheese is gone.
Like a long time ago.
I can't even. Are we moving on?
Yeah, I'm gonna move on.
Hang on 1 second. Let me catch you. Hang on. Almost done. Almost done. I'm just putting the rest of Sheila's clothes on. Am I good to move on?
Yeah, it looks great.
Wait, what are you doing? What color you got there
sorry.
now?
Okay,
Man,
so
are you
I'm-
level jumping? Level jumping. What's the plan?
Okay, so I grabbed the sickly skin so that we can do her
The
skin,
sickly
her
skin? Do you think
flesh.
there's one they have that's like really healthy skin? I'm guessing not. Sickly
Probably
skin.
not.
Are you keeping the same brush?
It is a smaller area. We could get a smaller brush.
Are we did no
That's
wait, just
fair.
to reference back to our card here. We're gonna be doing this part here, her flesh.
Yeah.
Kind of above the
Yes, her neck and her
chest, the neck, the bottom of the face. Yeah, it seems like maybe I might want to use a smaller brush, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
The Work Hobby Brush Pip 93008.
We grabbed the same brush.
I see what's up. All right, so now we're going sickly skin. We are once again shaking our paint.
Yes.
Shake it like a Polaroid picture.
Okay, ready, set, go.
Ready, to go? So wait, where are you starting?
I'm just starting it like around her collarbone because it's the most open space.
The neck and the collarbone, and then bringing it down to...
Like her chest
and it's
and the back.
once again, ladies and gentlemen, a vajoinkin of paint.
And her face also, like she's wearing a mask. So,
But only halfway down, right?
Yeah, the halfway down point, you want to get like her face.
See, again, this is where I have trouble trying to figure out what you're supposed to paint and what you're not supposed to paint. And you want to keep a black border between the two? Is that what you're saying?
If you can always go back and correct your mistakes.
Correct everything.
You can get away with things during base coating because you're going to do all the
Right.
detail work later.
The thing I like about priming black, too, you notice, is that if you leave a little bit of the black showing through, it actually accentuates a figure that's this dark.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not like, you don't feel like you have to cover every single tiny little thing. Because showing some of the black through is actually pretty cool for some of the shadow.
Right. I'm going to use this light pink for her chest.
Okay.
And it's probably going to come out.
Are you using the same brush?
Yeah, I'm using the same brush. I'm just going to do her top pink.
Okay.
So when we move into the chest.
So.
But when we do the wash,
this
it'll
is the
blend it.
carnal pink.
Yes, Cardinal pink.
And we're shaking it up.
Yeah.
And then where are you painting your
Just her whole chest area.
whole chest area?
So lighter colors over black are going to require more layers
Okay.
because the black just shows through and it's hard to mask it.
I got pink all over my hand now. Hand pink.
I know I have paint all over my fingers.
Well, we're gonna finish up base coating our Swamp Siren here. You know what? This is a perfect time to go to Brian with another pro tip of the day. Brian, annoy us.
Hey Will, I've got another tip for you. So you've done your zenithal prime. How does this influence the base coat? You can still do a normal base coat, but if you want to take advantage of your zenithal prime, apply a slightly more watered down base coat to the whiter areas and a stronger, more opaque coat to the blacker areas. This makes the miniature look shaded without even requiring you to shade. You may have to coat the blacker regions a couple of times to really get your color to show. Black primer is dark, dark, dark and always takes paint slowly. Your turn, Will.
Okay, we're dry and we are ready to move on. So what are we doing next?
Okay, so now we're gonna move on to our wash.
Ooh, washes. I love me some washes.
Yes, that's a fun part. It adds contrast and shading to your mini.
Talent in a can.
Yeah, exactly.
Love this stuff.
It's awesome. So just shake it up like you shake up
What
all your
color are we
paints.
starting with?
Oh, you want to match your wash to your colors. So, I
Okay.
mean, we have a lot of purple, pink here, so I just picked the purple.
The
I don't even know how to... Go ahead and pronounce that.
here, we're going to put it up there. Drew Chi Violet from Citadel. Citadel makes great washes. So what are we doing now? We're,
Just get...
what kind of brush did you grab?
I grabbed... you want to get a bigger brush, so I grabbed the base hobby brush.
The base, okay, gotcha.
Because you're just going to kind of glob it on. So
You're
you're
gonna
just going to glob it on, just put it... Because it's going to... What it's going to do is gravity's going to pull it down, and it's going to drip into all your nooks and crannies.
Okay, I can't open my wash. My wash is broken. It's broken.
Do you want me to do it?
No, it's fine. Thank you. Did you use water too?
Just to wet the brush to get it started, but
Okay.
then, so wash is a really thin paint, so...
And purple on purple and then let it slide?
It'll just slide down.
Oh,
Well,
I
it's
love
not-
me some washes.
Yeah, if it spills over onto the gray, it's not a big deal. It's just gonna hit all the crevices, so it'll just start shading your miniature and giving it so much more contrast and depth.
Very cool.
So you can even just go over this really quickly.
Well, it really does add a step of, I don't know, it's like they call it talent in a can because you put it on there and all of a sudden all the mistakes you made, everything, it all adds to the mini and then it's like, what, I'm the greatest painter ever.
Exactly. That's why I didn't want to spend too much time correcting too many things, just kind of get through it.
Right, because then
because
you
you're
wash
going to
it.
go through with a wash and highlights and then everything will kind of fix itself as you go.
I love the fixing of itself thing.
Yeah.
So we just doing the tentacles right now?
You can do the chest with, all the purple and the pink.
And the pink as well,
yeah.
okay.
Since she's like dark and creepy, the purple will give like a really nice look on
Again,
the
I
pink
think
too.
you're judging her a little harshly. I don't think she's creepy
I just
as much
relate
as
to her.
misunderstood. Oh, look at the way the wash just picks up every single little crack and crevice. It's great.
It starts showing all the details that you might have
Yeah.
missed when you were doing the base coat. All these little lines that weren't there, they all just start appearing.
Can you do a mini, a stupid question maybe, but just using washes?
You can do whatever you want.
It probably wouldn't look good though, is what you're saying. I guess you could.
Yeah, sure. I've never tried it, but yeah.
So wait, are we gonna wash the skin as well?
Yes. So
And that's not gonna be purple, is it?
no, I was thinking of doing the Nolan oil. I want to actually go get it off the shelf because I didn't grab it. And also on the gray,
Okay, cool. Well, while you do that, I'm gonna look at your mini.
if I can find it.
Yoink.
Where would it be?
See? That's pretty good.
Where are the washes? And I found it. Okay, so
So that's gonna be for the skin?
yeah, so the skin and the gray in between the tentacles, I grabbed the Citadel Nolan oil shade.
Oh, is this the one you were looking for?
No, that one's gloss. Okay, see,
this is the
like
gloss, okay.
yeah. So gloss is like when at the end, it'll leave it looking shiny, and
Oh,
I kind of
okay.
want. I
This
do
is
want
the
to use
shade.
it.
So we're throwing shade on our mini.
Yeah, we're gonna throw shade on her first.
So right now though, we're doing it for.
On the gray and the skin,
Alrighty. So wait, you're doing your skin like that now?
and it'll make her look really dark and creepy.
Oh yeah, that is kind of cool.
Yeah. So even when you put like big old globs of it, just keep moving it around with your brush.
Okay. Man, this stuff is great. Mm-hmm. Love me some washes. Yeah, most of the Sistine Chapel is just one giant wash. A lot of people don't know that. Yep. I don't want to put too much on, right?
No, it's just to catch those in between sections.
Right.
So once you do that, it's kind of done its job.
So I think I'm good then, right?
yeah, you're good. Maybe add a little bit more of the purple wash to her eyes.
Oh, to her eyes and her
Yeah,
face?
yeah.
Okay. Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you can really makes the face pop when you
great.
do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, how's that?
Yeah, that's better.
All right, cool. So there we have it. We have finished up with our base coating and we have done our washes and we are now gonna let this dry. So why don't you come back next week? We're gonna jump into highlighting and go from there. Once again, we got Candace Dovie coming back with us, who's gonna teach us some more stuff and gonna make me look bad in the process. So remember, every great masterpiece started with a single brushstroke. Thanks, everybody.